Hello, 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 hello. It's Joe Mitchell with your 10-minute educator. Are you ready for an education on New Year's resolutions? I mean, New Year's resolutions are really, really broken time and time and time and time again. It's kind of like, well, why do we even set them if we're going to just break them again and again and again? It's like, I don't know, 10% of people or even less actually keep their New Year's resolutions. Well, let's talk about that. First of all, I want to be right with you and say hello. How are you today? If you don't know me, I'm Joe Mitchell, activateyourgreatness.com. And I am on a mission to have people educated in ways to activate their greatness. And to this month, we are working on goals and productivity. And I figured that this week we'll talk about New Year's resolutions because at this point, those New Year's resolutions are a little far away. So let's bring them up close and see what we can do about keeping them. And that's what the topic of today is. And I've got 7 points for you. So I'm not going to linger here. I'll just say, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a high performance coach. I am a best-selling author. I am a tapping specialist. I love this thing called tapping. Tapping on the meridians in the Chinese acupuncture system, and it's amazing, amazing results. And I'm also a Harvard Law grad, so I'm a lawyer. I'm a recovering lawyer. That's what they say. So let's get into this. Okay, are you ready to keep those New Year's resolutions? Or to look at how we can, and even if you haven't set them, maybe it's time for you to set a New Year's resolution for this year. Okay, and as we get into this, you're going to see how easy this is. It really isn't as hard as you think. So if you haven't set a New Year's resolution, or you want to set one now, let's do that. So here we go. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to choose a specific, hold on one second, let me get rid of this thing here. We want to choose a specific goal. Now, what does that mean? All that means is we want it to be like measurable. We don't want to have, well, I want to lose weight, or I want to get in good shape, or I want to make a lot of money. It's got to be something that's specific. How much do you want to make? How much do you want to lose? How fit do you want to get? So that's really important. I mean, and it seems pretty, to me, it seems pretty basic that you would choose a very specific goal. Anybody who does goal setting knows that it's critical that you choose something that's specific and measurable and time bound. So that's the thing that you want to do. That's the first thing that you want to do. Number 2, limit your resolutions. Focus on one goal at a time. What is that? Why? One goal at a time? I mean, can I have more than one goal? Yeah, you can have more than one goal, but focus on the one that's going to make the most difference. Because you don't want to be here, there, and everywhere. And as far as New Year's resolutions, choose one. Choose one New Year's resolution that's going to make the difference for you. Beautiful. Next, put time into planning and make a detailed plan. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you put something in writing about not only how you could accomplish this. And it doesn't have to be exact and perfect, but how you're going to accomplish this, when you're going to do the tasks, and how you're going to deal with the obstacles. Very simple stuff and very important stuff. If you want to achieve your New Year's resolutions, make a plan. Next. Okay, you're going to love this one. Start with small steps. So you don't have to make any huge steps. Okay, like if you're wanting to run a marathon, why not start out with 3 runs a week that are 3 miles? And that if you get into the habit of doing that 3 times a week, and you do that for a couple of months, man, you are going to be ready to up the ante. And that's a much smaller step than saying, okay, I'm going to start running 10 miles twice a week or 3 times a week, or every day I'm going to run 5 miles every day, or whatever. Take small, manageable steps. Very simple. Very, very simple. I mean, this is kind of basic, but the whole thing is you want to put stuff into action. So the real question is, how can you put this into action? Avoid repeating past failures. So what does that mean? That just means look at the times before when you've set goals similar and see, well, where didn't it work? And how can I avoid those? So it's really more of like a looking back and seeing how you can improve. Very important, very, very important to avoid those past failures, because you can kind of keep running on the hamster wheel. Then you want to remember that change is a process. And so what does that mean? That just means you got to be a little patient with yourself, because it's not always going to happen immediately or happen the way that you want. There's going to be ups and downs, and you're going to fail, and you're going to have to get up, and there's all kinds of changes and barriers that maybe you don't even see now that are going to come up. And you've got to just remember that this is going to be a process, and it's going to be ups and downs and back steps and forward steps, and it's all part of the process. And then finally, get support. You might want to have an accountability buddy. You might want to put it out what you're going to do to all your family and friends and ask them if they would support you, and ask about it on a regular basis. You might want to go on social media and say, this is what I'm doing. So there's all kinds of ways that you can get support, but that's really a critical piece as well. So I just wanted to give you all of those pieces and say to you, this is a very good way to, let me come back full speed here. Maybe what we can do is let's just review them right quick, okay? Because I think it's always good to review, okay? So we're doing this little review. Stick with me for this review and go for it. Choose a specific goal. Be specific. Be exact. I mean, some not exact, but at least be definite. Be measurable. Okay. Next. Choose a specific goal. Limit your resolutions. Focus on one goal. Let's do one. Okay. And then you can focus on it, and focus on it daily. Focus on it. You might want to write an affirmation statement and say, I'm going to do this. I am going to lose 20 pounds by August 1st, or 30 pounds by August 1st. Focus. Put time into planning. Make a detailed plan. What are you going to eat? How are you going to do it? Remember that it's really important to write this down. Make a detailed plan. How are you going to deal with the obstacles that come up? Because the obstacles will come up. Okay? So make this important. Make this thing important. And then start with small steps. Don't take the huge steps. Don't think like you have to be this big, brave person and do all this stuff. Start with small, consistent steps. Yes? Avoid repeating past failures. Look at how what mistakes you've made in the past, and then avoid them. Don't make the same mistakes again and again. Remember that change is a process. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Think about that. Think about it often. Think about what you want, but be patient with yourself. And then get some support. Get people that are supporting you. Get a coach. Okay, I'm a coach. Like if you were to work with me, we would make sure that you get your New Year's resolutions done. Okay, and if you want to do that, just personal PM me, and then private message me, or go on my website and request a consultation. And I'll give you a free strategy session where we can really go into this in depth. So thanks. So that's it. And that's what I wanted to tell you today. And I hope that this is valuable for you. Keep those resolutions. Just make one that's going to stick with you, one that's going to make a difference in your life. And then make a detailed plan to accomplish it and take small steps. You got this. Joe Mitchell, activateyourgreatness.com. Visit my site for free book chapters and much more. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day, evening, night, whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here.